What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to another review here at Thomas Opent, where we are taking a look at something very awesome. At least I think it's very awesome. We're taking a look at a beer from the Struise. It is their Saint Amatus, a vintage 2013 bourbon barrel-aged quad. Panaput, vintage 2013, there, that one. Number 5 brand, bourbon barrel-aged quad. 15 years of Struise. So this was for their 15 years anniversary, I guess. What we have here is, like I said, it is a dark quadruple ale produced by Struise. Oostvleteren, Belgium, 11% ABV. It's always funny, they actually put the amount of calories it has for a bottle. 289 calories for a bottle. So on the cap it says the lot number, and here's where it gets interesting. The bottling date is 21/06/2016. When we look at the lot number, I would say that this was, it says lot 32013. So I would assume if this was brewed in March 2013, then bottled in 2016 June, that this has seen just over 3 years in a barrel and just over 6 years in the bottle. So that's nice. This is a nice little aged little quad. I would like to thank my buddy Yo over at Yo Beer Reviews. I'll drop a link to his channel. He sent me this beer, I think, 2 years ago. He sent me 4 different Struises, and I figured I'm going to review over a period of time. And I sort of half forgot about this one. It's not like I actually forgot that I had it. I knew I still had a Struise, but every time I do reviews, I'm like, oh yeah, there's this, there's new stuff coming in. And it sort of went in the back of my mind. And I was clearing out some cabinets where, or the drawers where I keep all my beers. A lot of them, not all of them. And I realized, shit, I have never reviewed this. So here I go. So like I said, unless somebody wants to correct me, the way that I read this was brewed in 2013. And like I said, when I look at the cap, I'll see if you guys can see this, if you can read this properly. From what I can see, this was brewed in March of 2013. So it would have spent over 3 years in a bourbon barrel. That's how I'm reading this. If somebody thinks that's not correct, let me know. We'll gently open this. Now I'm very curious because I know that there have been some infected beers from the Struise throughout the years. I'm not saying this is going to be one of them, but there have been a few sour Struises. I have had 1 or 2 of them myself. And we'll just pour everything in. So that pours exactly what you expect from a quad. It has that dark brown bread sort of vibe to it. It's slightly murky in the glass, so you definitely can tell that it has a little bit of age on it. It's got a thin little soft soapy bubbles on top in terms of a head. I don't think that's going to last very long. I love Struise. I'm not a big fan of what a lot of their modern stuff. I've had 1 or 2 of their more modern beers. One of them was a Kalila barrel-aged beer that apparently had spent quite some time in a barrel, and I did not get any Kalila, like any peatiness of it whatsoever. Didn't even get a real big barrel-aged character from it. But anyway, so this is back to the older days. I remember the old Panaput, like the old vintages from like the early 2010s and stuff like that. That was awesome stuff. So considering that this was brewed in 2013, I'm hoping that this is going to bring me back to those older Struise vibes. So, Yo, thank you so much for sending me this. I am very curious. Let's see what this has on the nose. Here we go. So there is a sort of an astringent note in the nose. There is definitely, one could say, okay, first of all, there's definitely age in it. You can tell. I'm not really getting a big bourbon character. I'm not really getting like that big bourbon barrel-aged note that you would get. I'm getting a sort of like an astringent note that I would get from a hefty, like a heady, strong, think along the lines of like an intentional Malbec, like a red wine. I'm getting sort of like that astringent note. I'm not going to call it like actual sour, but it's sort of like that astringent tannic thing. Under that, there's definitely that sort of when you have like dried fruits, dried dried raisins, figs, dates, things like that, and soaked on a nice spirit. I'm not getting like the exact spirit here, but you get that sort of rum soaked raisins, figs, dates, that thing basically. I'm not saying it's rum specifically, but to give you an idea of what I'm getting. In a way, it almost reminds me of like a Flams, like an old Flemish red or brown, you know, like the sour ales without it being too sour, but it has that sort of note. You get that brown, dark malt sweetness, you get that sour note of it. I would probably guess that this has a small infection in it, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. We'll just see what it does on the nose, on the palate, because like I'm saying, I think this will need a little bit of time to develop. It definitely has that big, bold quad character, that aged quad character. You're getting that sort of portification a little bit as well. You get that spicy, herbal thing from a nice tawny port. Yeah, the more and more I'm letting this breathe a little bit and taking in small whiffs, you get that malty, strong, dark brown bread with some molasses on it. You know, like sort of nearing that Christmas pudding thing, sort of. Yeah, like nearing that Christmas pudding when you got like the traditional British Christmas pudding with a lot of dried fruits in it and stuff like that. You know, the soaked soaking it in spirits and liquor. I know I'm sounding a little bit negative because I was talking about that astringent note, possibly maybe a small infection. It smells great. It smells, I love this. I love the smell of this. Don't get me wrong. This smells wonderful. So let's just see what it does in the palate and let it taste, right? Yo, thanks, mate. Cheers. Okay. Ooh. That is sour. That is definitely sour, and that is definitely infected. Whew. So here we go. It's infected, 100%. This is not supposed to be that sour. That's not what this style is supposed to be. Backtracking to what I'm tasting, I like it though. I like it because, like I said, it reminds me of classic old Flemish red, Flemish brown ales. You know, that Vlaams rood, Vlaams bruin for my Dutch viewers. It has that sort of like high quality, good vinegar note to it. All the malty notes that I really like that brown bread, that sort of sweetness is still there. It's all there, but it's infected. It's definitely 100% infected. Um, I had kind of hoped that this was before that, but no, it lands smack in there, smack right smack down. What's the expression? I'm saying it wrong, but my American viewers will know what I'm saying. Mm. Yeah, that quad character is still coming through. There is definitely oxidation. You're getting a little bit of that oxidation note going. Again, in a way that I appreciate it in an aged beer. Oxidation can go a lot of ways. This is the kind of level of oxidation that I appreciate in a beer, in an aged quad. Technically, this beer is now uh, about 9.5 years old, give or take, including the barrel aging, if you include when the original beer was brewed. It's just there's no bourbon character. There's no bourbon character left. I'm not getting anything that reminds me of a good bourbon. I'm not getting that bubblegum sweetness. I'm not getting any like coconut or charred notes. Nothing here reminds me of bourbon. That astringency, that sour note in there is so strong. That is just way too much. And again, I don't think I'm going to have any problems finishing it because I appreciate, as a sour beer lover, I appreciate the flavors. I'm going to have to take a few more sips to see if I really like it. But for what it's supposed to be, a barrel-aged quad, a bourbon barrel-aged quad, that's not what this is. That is not what this is. Did a fruit fly just fucking land in there? No, I saw a fruit fly. No, there it is. I saw a fruit fly in the corner of my eye, but there it is. Yeah, I'm gonna really have to. I'm going to have to let this sit for a while. I'm going to put something over the glass so any potential fruit flies can't reach it, and see what this does if it's after it's been sitting for a little while, and how good it is then. But a bourbon barrel aged quad like this should not have, like, I should have known. I know that, like I said, I know that barrel aged beers from Struise, from a certain period, even some non barrel aged beers, had that sour note to it. It was a thing. And like I said, I'm not sure if it's a bad thing right now. I really am not sure if it's a bad thing. I like the flavor that I'm getting. If I had this as a mystery beer, I would have guessed Flemish red, Flemish brown. It's not disgusting. It's just I'm a little bit disappointed because when I was hoping for something a little bit different. But it is what it is. It is still something that I'm glad that I got to try, because I can't remember. That's the thing. I've had some Struises through the years, several of them, as mystery beers, as things that I bought, things that people gave me. I can't recall if I ever had a Saint Amatus before. So it's a nice experience. Every beer is a good experience. So this is another new one. So I really appreciate Yo for sending me this. Thank you, buddy. I am glad that I got to try this. And I'm going to reserve judgment on whether or not I like it until I've had a little bit more. I'm going to put it back. This is the last beer in a session that I'm doing right now, a review session. So I'm going to put it aside, put something over it, let it do its thing for a little while, and then get back to it and see if I still feel the same. So check out my Untapped to see what I felt about this beer. And again, thank you, Joe. And that's it for this review. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button. Aren't you supposed to say smash that subscribe button? Leave some comments. I always love comments. In the description box below, I'm going to leave some links to all of my social media. A link to the Dutch Beer Collective, link to mysterybeer.nl, so you guys can check out all of the reviews from my buddies in the Dutch Beer Collective, Gerben, Remy, and Douglas. I'll see all of you guys in another review soon. Cheers.